Well, it was like not so bad on Sunday in the end.
No,
I
it
mean, it was
wasn't
bad
bad.
for me. I tried something different and it didn't work.
Oh no, we'll wait and see what
I
the
saw your
conditions are
experience and
like.
it didn't work. Yeah.
There's the stream. It's up and running. Just wait, the audio's working. The audio is working as it should. Stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. Fantastic. Hello everyone and welcome to round 9 of the PlayStation Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your lead commentator for this event, and this time we are racing at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Constructed in 2012 and designed by track-making supremo Herman Tilke, the 5.51 kilometer 20-turn racetrack was created to try and rekindle the relationship between USA and Formula One after the events of the 2005 Grand Prix at Indianapolis. With the Miami Grand Prix being introduced for the 2022 season, I'd say it's done its job. The circuit can produce good racing with two DRS zones that lead into the unique uphill turn 1 and turn 12. The two corners provide the best overtaking opportunities on the racetrack, but we may see some action as well into turn 15 in the third sector. The big concern for the drivers tonight will be track limit warnings. The S section in the beginning of the circuit, which is incredibly reminiscent to Maggots and Beckett's in Silverstone, and the penultimate corner of turn 19 tend to be hotspots for gathering warnings. There'll be key areas for us to look out for during the race and, of course, through qualifying. But before we focus on qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race at Singapore. There was only one incident report involving plebs. It resulted in no further action, so the results stand from last week. In the Drivers' Championship, GeForce Crichton is leading on 155 points, followed by Spilling on 131. So only 24 points separating the top two in the championship. Crichton's teammate Fiery Hour is third on 124, followed by GeForce Ford on 117, only 1 point of front of GeForce Wogboy, as Racing Upda has had a bit of a moment at the exit of turn 15. Fortunately, nothing dramatic has come out of that. Rounding out the top 10, we have Karma, Plebs, Chip, Scotty, and Leo is a weirdo. In the Constructors' table, Mercedes are leading incredibly comfortably. They're on 279 points, followed by McLaren on 196. Yeah, it's a pretty big margin between the top two. Aston Martin are third on 168, followed by Williams on 147, and Ferrari on 134. Completing the table, we have Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Alpine, Haas, and then AlphaTauri at the bottom of the order. Hello, KD. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy. And with everything out of the way, I think I can introduce my co-commentator for tonight. Once again, it's GeForce Pato. Now, Pato, I know you're eating something, so have you finished eating first of all?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I am.
But you raced here on Sunday. You were talking about that just a little bit earlier. What's your view on the racetrack, and what are you looking forward to from tonight's race?
Well, I can see the biggest challenge here at Austin is that you have to... The back straight is really long, but actually you need a high downforce setup for this track, because as you said, Sector 1 is basically full high-speed corners. And I think the biggest challenge will be for the drivers, like, to put a good lap in quali without getting invalidated first, because as you said, track warnings here are pretty simple to get. And I don't know if the conditions are going to be all dry, as we saw on Sunday. And I think, yeah, staying in the DRS train over here will be really key, especially if the drivers go for a high downforce setup. So let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, that's very, very true. After all the races that I've seen here, particularly dry races, DRS trains tend to be quite common here in Austin. I will agree with you on that. But we also tend to see a bit of a mix-up in terms of strategy. Some drivers are really keen to start on the medium compound tyre rather than start on the soft tyre. I guess the soft tyre burns up quite quickly, doesn't it? It's very difficult to maintain tyre temperature, if I remember correctly. Although it's been a little while since I've raced here properly at Austin. Oh, there's a Haas in the background, loses the back end. I think that was racing up the...
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because actually the strategy that the game suggests you to have is not the strategy that all the drivers are gonna aim, because a two-stop strategy is quick, is really quick, but also I reckon all the drivers will go, try to go a bit longer on the softs and go for a one-stop.
Yeah.
It will be, if it's a one-stop, you can do a soft medium, start hitting on lap 8 from lap 10. Otherwise, you can go basically on lap 6, lap 7, put new softs on, and then go into the mediums on lap 13, 14, 15. In the end, it's pretty even. It depends on how much traffic you get. And also, the danger of safety cars, of course, is always there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
But what about the hard tyre? Just avoid it at all costs?
I've actually never tried it, but I don't know, maybe if someone wants to go for an undercut, maybe you can actually pit on lap 6 and put new hards on, which will be better towards the end of the race. I don't think the hards are that bad compared to other tracks. Just my feeling, to be honest, because I've never tried the hards around here, but it could be an option. It could be an option for me. So
fair enough. Just keep an open mind when it comes to strategy, it seems. And if we have any safety cars, I will always shake things up. The safety cars are pretty common here in Texas, as Mr. Plebs here exits the final corner to cross the line to go P3. Currently, it's Leo Izawido on pole position with a 1 minute 31.175. He's currently 2/10 clear of championship leader G-Force Crichton. Plebs is third, followed by Ford, then Grim Reaper in the Ferrari in fifth. Hilles in P6, taking a very fine podium finish on Sunday. It was a very nice performance to watch. And Roscoe, he got a podium on Sunday as well after that race that we had. There was plenty of drama in that race. Well, at the end of it anyway. In the mid-phase of it, it was pretty boring. But towards the end, we had stuff happen in that race. Would recommend to watch that. The Pacific Elite Series, round 9 at the United States. Very interesting race. There's Fiery Hour here is on the medium tyre. How many people have tried on? Look at that. From P8 down to P11 for those who have set times. They're all on the medium tyre. All of them. Fiery Hour here is going to join that list. See where he ends up. He comes around the final corner of turn 20 with the sun right in his face. Crosses the line and goes P8. Right in front of that queue of medium runners. There we are. Yeah. Well, that's a perfect demonstration of the tyre delta, I guess, between the soft compound and the mediums.
Seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly. The tyre delta is 1.3 seconds.
There we are.
So, yeah, Fiery Hour and G-Force Crichton are right now pretty evenly matched, considering the delta.
Yeah. Fiery Hour getting out of the way of G-Force Swaggy, my goodness. Name that I haven't said for a little while. He's in the AlphaTauri tonight, alongside Jedley, I think is how you would say that. Like Deadly, but with a J. He's currently slowest with a 34.0. It's not a bad effort, and we've still got heaps of time left in qualifying. See if he can improve.
Pretty good to see Swaggy back, actually. He was actually complaining before he couldn't use his traditional Alfa Romeo sit.
Oh my goodness.
He's in an Alfa anyway.
Well, he's in an Italian car. It is an Italian car.
Exactly.
It's probably as close as he can get to an Alfa Romeo, if he could try. As Grim Reaper here is going to start a flying lap. Well, he's coming around turn 1 is what I should have said. Around turn 2, give a proper tour of the racetrack. Through turn 3, 4, 5 and the double right of turn 6. This completes the first sector. He's up by a tenth of a second. Around turn 7 into turn 8. Climbing up the hill around turn 9. Tricky corner to get right, an important corner to get right. Got a fairly lengthy flat out section that leads into this hairpin of turn 11. Second gear, clips the apex pretty nicely. It's nice drive on the exit as well. He opens DRS down this incredibly long straightaway, down towards probably the best overtaking spot on the circuit, turn 12. Entering at 313 kilometers an hour, brings it down to second gear, short shifting on the exit to find traction, and he's up by 4/10 in the middle sector. Around turns 13 and 14, then into the hairpin of turn 15. We might see drivers send it down the inside here at turn 15, especially early in the race and towards the end. Now around the triple right-hander of 16, 17 and 18, into the very tricky turn 19 with its blind apex. Now the final corner, turn 20, to complete one lap of Circuit of the Americas and Grim Reaper. 7th fastest, improving by 2.5 tenths to set a 1 minute 31.826. Meanwhile, the top two are on flying laps. Crichton here is up by a tenth of a second in the middle sector. Leo looks like he's going to try and set a flying lap right now. Crichton here making his way around 16, 17 and 18. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there, I think. There might have been lag, but he definitely wiggled on my screen. Around the final corner of turn 20. Uses the full width of the racetrack on the exit and does a 1 minute 30.999. Well, hey. Okay then. Just missing out on a perfect 1 minute 31 exactly by 1/1000th of a second.
Yeah, that's classic Crichton. When he's got wiggled, something you know is going to get faster.
Yeah, it's kind of insane with him. It's always a bit insane. Leo here, he's making his way out of turn 11. He's got DRS wide open, heading down towards the big braking zone of turn 12. He's entering in at about 314, 315 kilometers an hour, trying to use the full width of the racetrack at the entry and at the apex as well. And he's up by 0.006 of a second. He needs to improve by about 2/10 to take pole position away from Crichton. Meanwhile, GeForce Ford has taken second place with a 1 minute 31.108. Around the triple right-hander, I think Leo's backed out of the lap. Ooh. That wasn't a healthy sounding engine right there. He might duck back into pit lane here. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Pleb's low on fuel. He might be coming in this lap, or he's going to complete this flight. Nope, he's coming in. He's coming in. GeForce Swaggy here in the AlphaTauri. Comes around the final corner onto the main straightaway. And up towards turn 1. Very steep rise towards turn 1. Big braking zone. You have to brake fairly late. Thanks to the uphill nature of the corner, you can brake fairly late. Around turn 2. And into turn 3, this is quite a tricky corner to get right, especially if you don't have racing line, because it's blind on entry. Exiting turn 6, and he's up by a tenth of a second in the first sector. Around turn 8, around turn 9, and into the fairly insignificant kink of turn 10, and towards the hairpin of turn 11. Hard on the brakes, brings it down to second gear, short shifting to 4th, desperately trying to find traction on the exit. He'll open DRS, climb up through the gears, reaching over 300 kilometers an hour, and into the big braking zone of turn 12. Very similar to Leo, using the full width of the circuit at entry and at the apex, avoiding the outside curb. He's improved by just a little bit in the middle sector. Towards turn 15, nice wide entry, hitting the apex in 4th gear, getting on the power. Around 16, 17 and 18, keeping it pinned to the floor. Around turn 19. Now just the final corner, turn 20. It's a very tidy lap from Swaggy. What does the clock say? He opens DRS, crosses the line, it's P4. With a 1 minute 31.197. He misses out on P3 by 22 thousandths of a second. In fact, the top 4 are separated by less than 2/10 at the moment, which is rather impressive considering this is a 5.5-kilometer racetrack with 20 turns. It's a lot of turns.
Yeah, it looks like Swaggy's never left, actually.
It seems like it, huh? He's got bundles of talent, but he can have some rotten luck in races, so he might have the pace,
True.
but he needs to string it together in the race. So, as Scotty here is making his way through the final sector, he's the last driver yet to set a lap time. Coming around the triple right-hander. Nice and tidy here from Scotty. Around the penultimate corner of 19. Gets through that with ease. Now around the final corner of turn 20. Third gear. Opens DRS. Crosses the line. Jumps up to P9. Not a bad effort at all. 1 minute 31.804. Very tidy. Average only getting ready. Spilly setting off on a flying lap. Potentially his last flying lap. Heading up the hill towards turn 1. Brings it down to second gear. Gets on the power. Third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. Flat out around turn 2. Now towards the S section. 3, 4, 5. Now into turn 6. Down to fifth gear. Modulating the throttle nicely. First sector split though says he's down on his personal best. See if he can find any more time in the remaining 2 sectors, but he's invalidated at turn 9 in his desperation to find time. But he's still got enough time left on the clock to set one more flying lap. And he hasn't got a red fuel icon either, so he should have fuel. Plebs here getting ready. He's coming around the final corner. Open DRS and set off on his flying lap. Current personal best is a 1 minute 31.584. He's currently 4/10 off P4. If he can find that time, he might be able to potentially take pole position. If he can find 4/10 on this flying lap, because pole position is then only 2/10 further away. There's not much time separating that top 4. He's up by 26 thousandths of a second. Leo is a weirdo. He's making his way around turn 1. There is a Mercedes in the S section. Is that... Oh, it's Fiery Hour. Well, he won't have enough time to set a flying lap. His qualifying's done. Well, that's a poor bit of timing there. He'll start from last place. In 17th, a shocking qualifying for Fiery Hour. 40 getting ready. Crichton getting ready. Leo... Oh, I think he's just set a flying lap there. He's only improved by 8 thousandths. He stays P3. Plebs is up by 2/10 of a second in the middle sector. Can he find any more time here in the final sector? There's a lot of corners to go through. A lot of apexes you can get right. Comes out to the triple right-hander towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Turns 19 and 20. Using the full width of the racetrack here. Brings it down to third gear, short shifting to fourth on the exit, opens DRS, crosses the line, jumps to P4. So he found 4/10 at the end of qualifying. Couldn't find much more, but it's a really big effort from Plebs. 40 is making his way around turn 11. Same with Crichton just behind. So we can watch the pair of them on their final flying laps. 40 heading down towards turn 12. Yellow flags being shown, but that's okay. No obvious hazards in front. Hard on the brakes for 12. Third gear. Crosses the sector split. The clock says he's down by 0.5 Crichton, he's also down by slightly less, by 34 thousandths of a second. 40 making his way around the triple right-hander. There's a Ferrari just in front. I believe that's Grim Reaper as Wogboy is in the pit lane. Around the penultimate corner, towards the final turn, a big wiggle there from Ford. Can he find any time? Can he take pole position away from Crichton? The answer is no, he cannot, and Crichton's put it into the wall at the final turn. So he cannot improve, but it doesn't matter. He has secured pole position here in Texas by 9 thousandths of a second between him and Ford. An incredibly close margin at the end of qualifying. Crichton, a 1 minute 30.999, beating a 1 minute 31.108. 9 thousandths of a second. And it's Leo is a weirdo, just 600ths behind, or about 700ths, I should say, rounded up. Then Plebs, just behind Leo. It is insanely close.
It is actually 1/10 and 99 thousandths, I think. Yeah, 1/10 away.
Oh, sorry, yeah, of course. I can't math. It is 0.109. I can't math. I can't believe that. I thought, no, I'm stupid. That's what I am.
Wow,
apologies for that.
How
But
close it is.
It's, yeah, it doesn't disguise the fact that it is close between the top 5. 0.2 separating the top 5. Then it's just a half a tenth away is Spilly in P6 from Swaggy. Then Green Reaper in P7, racing up there in 8th. Bags Liddell in 9th, average only rounds out the top 10. Go through the rest of the order on the formation lap. No, sorry about that, I can't math. And all the excitement of a close qualifying, I couldn't math. Anyway.
Well, the big loser of this quali should be Fariawa, though, because he set his lap on mediums, and then I think he invalidated like how many runs on the softs. So now he's gonna have to climb up the order. He's got the pace for sure, but it's always difficult, like when you start last.
So, but here in Austin, there are plenty of factors that can help a driver out towards the back. There are bound to be safety cars at some point, I'd imagine. If you get the calls right during the safety car periods, then you can benefit massively. And we know how quick Fiery Hour is, and he'd probably be a bit pumped up after a poor qualifying. He'd want to set that right in the race, so I imagine he might be quite aggressive off the start. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if he tried to start on the soft tyre. Try and make up positions early, and then compensate later on, like the top 10. So, we'll wait and see what they do.
If I was him, I would go actually for the mediums, because if there's open for a safety car when the soft runners pit, that would be a good strategy, I think. Because in the end, like, you're gonna be quicker on the softs for sure. Like, you're gonna get held up, like I think in the first few laps, by traffic and overtaking, so you're gonna lose time anyway.
Well, there's the predicted tyre stop strategy. Lap 9 through 11 to go onto the hard tyre. I don't think they'll be touching the hard tyre. They'll be trying to go onto the mediums. We'll run through the order briefly. We got Crichton on pole position on the soft tyre. Then with G-Force Ford alongside, followed by Leo in P3, then Plebs in P4. Swaggy P5, then Spilly P6. Grim Reaper in 7th, racing up to in 8th. Bags Liddell in 9th, then average only rounds out to 10. All of them starting on the soft tyre. Scotty P11 starting on the medium tyre. Same with Wogboy in P12 and Hillez in P13. Roscoe Arms starting on the soft tyre, so he's planning to be aggressive off the start. Got G-Force Zach P15 on the medium compound tyre, and Jedley P16 on the soft tyre. And Fiery Hour from last place, as you predicted, is starting on the medium compound tyre. So, got 5 drivers on the mediums and 12 drivers on the softs. It's a healthy mix in terms of strategy, and no one on the hard tyre, which is not too surprising. A lot of dust being tossed up on this formation lap. My goodness. Just riding on board with Fiery Hour, there's all this dust being kicked up in front of Fiery Hour's Mercedes. Very strange. Now
We're ready for action.
More or less now. Just waiting on the leaders to line back up on the grid. Then we'll wait for the tail of the field to line up onto the grid and we can get this race underway. Got 17 cars tonight. Pretty healthy field. It's not a full grid, of course, but 17 is still very healthy. Well, Crichton on pole position. He's on the outside, so if he doesn't get a good start, there's a real chance G-Force Ford could take the lead into turn 1. So Crichton needs to get the jump pretty spot on. Fiery Hour's now lining up into his grid slot. We're all ready to go here. We've got 28 laps here in front of us. And we're still waiting. Here we go. We got 10 red lights. And we are underway here in Texas, and Crichton has got a pretty decent start there from pole position. He thought about moving across the cover 40 at turn 1. They're side by side through turn 1. They're side by side a little bit on the exit too, but Crichton gets in front. 40 has to settle for second place with Leo in third, Plebs in fourth, followed by G4 Swaggy. Through the S section they go for the first time in race conditions. A driver going wide. It's Roscoe in the Williams. Now around turn 7 towards turn 8, up the hill towards turn 9. It's a fairly undramatic start, which is pretty good to see. Everyone's gotten through relatively unscathed as they head down the hill towards the hairpin of turn 11. Spilly, Grim Reaper going into the hairpin. They're side by side. Reaper, can he get by? Not quite. Spilly hangs on to P6 for now. 40 slotting into the slipstream, closing in on Crichton. Will he go for the move here at turn 12? He looks to the inside. Will he commit to a move? No, he won't. He'll slot back behind Crichton. Leo's still in P3. Oh, Spilly and Reaper battling side by side. Oh, dearie me, that's tight there at the hairpin of turn 13, but they get through. Racing up to just behind. No one going for any dive bombs here at turn 15. Not just yet, anyway. As they head towards the triple right-hander. Flat out they go. Around this quite tricky bit of racetrack towards turns 19 and 20. A fairly undramatic start. Everyone has gotten through. That's really good to see. Crichton, he's got a 4/10 lead out in front. 40's just keeping up with him, not letting him get away. As they go around the hairpin of turn 1. Down the hill towards turn 2. Now, ideally for Crichton, he would like to pull away, build up a margin, and have a really easy race. 40 won't let that happen, though. Or at least he'll try to not let that happen. Come through 7, 8, and 9. The gap steadily builds to 7 or so tenths. Then it closes up quite a bit there through turn 9. And it opens up a little bit against those fine margins. Just opening and closing every so often. Let's go around turn 11. No DRS just yet. We'll still have to wait a little bit. DRS to be enabled. It's not too far away. The problem is, with everyone so tightly bunched up, it's pretty difficult to know where to look in this sort of situation. Got some drivers fairly close to one another. Average only looking down the inside of Jedley there as they go through turn 12. But, no one's really in a position to attack. Spilly's starting to lose ground to Swaggy and the other 4 drivers in front of Swaggy. Spilly needs to stay within that 1 second range. It is critical, otherwise they'll just drive away when DRS is enabled. There's the leaders going through the penultimate corner. There's Swaggy. He's still within that 1 second range. That's the most critical thing at this point. Needs to stay there. No one challenging that fastest lap of Crichton's of 1 minute 35.2. And there it is. DRS is now enabled. He's still there or thereabouts. Grim Reaper just behind. Racing up to starting to lose a bit of ground as well. He's 8 tenths behind. Now he's starting to close in just a little bit. They go through the S section. Really tough here in the midfield. Oh, and there's a perfect demonstration of it. The understeer that you get through this section, thanks to all the dirty air. It's really not fun at all. Even on the grippiest tyre, you just get this big wash of dirty air. Big hit of understeer as well as you go through the S section. You have to be quite prepared for that. Now 40, I don't think he's close enough to pass Crichton. Nah, surely not.
And everyone has got DRS for now.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, hang on. Oh. Well, as Crichton locks up big time there. You could see the big plume of smoke. He locks up into 12. Crichton's under a bit of pressure here. Bit of unnecessary... Oh, a big send from 40. Hello. He draws alongside Crichton. Crichton runs wide. He has to use all of the runoff area. Oh, a disconnect. Oh, gee whiz. Had a big lag spike there. My goodness. As they head down towards the final corner. Oh, it's dearie me. 40 and Crichton battling side by side there at the final turn. And here comes Crichton to retake the lead from 40. Down the inside into turn 1. Spilly trying to get by Swaggy as well. As Leo goes down the inside of 40 rather. Can't get it done at turn 1. Heading through the S section now. Plevsy's now got Spilly just behind, and Swaggy, Grim Reaper in 7th place in the Ferrari as well. Spilly's got pace, but he's got nowhere to go. Oh, he's going to try though. Oh, it's tight here at turn 8, but they get through it relatively unscathed. And here comes Swaggy to take the position as well, away from Plebs. Here comes Grim Reaper down the inside into 11. They touch some more. They touch even more at turn 11. Oh, and Grim Reaper almost loses the car there at turn 11, but keeps the car straight. Just. Dearie me. Heading down the long straightaway towards turn 12. Swaggy looking to the inside into 12. Spilly leaves the door open. They both get through. And Spilly keeps 4th place, but all this battling is costing him quite a bit of time.
I was about to say that. Now Spilly is out of DRS, so the top 3 can now run away.
Yep. That's all they need to do now. They don't need to battle each other too hard either. It's lap 4 of 28. We've got heaps of racing to get through. I reckon Plez has damage. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, he's going in. Like, his front wing looks fine, but I reckon he's got damage. It just seems like he has it.
Is he going to go for softs again? Yes. He goes for the hards.
Fair enough. Well, he's going to try and go long. Get to the end. Probably pray for a safety car at some point. But yeah, just the way that Spilly got around Plebs in the S section on lap 4, it sort of told me that he might have had a little bit of damage, because to overtake through this section, it's not a natural thing to do. So something had to have happened to Plebs' car. Yeah, I reckon he got damage. Come through the hairpin here. Got this fairly intense battle going on in the midfield. All really closely bunched up. They're all ready to race as well. They're not mucking around. They want to get a move on. And here comes Grim Reaper with a whole heap of momentum down the inside into turn 12 and takes P6 away from racing up to. Bags Liddell just behind in P8. Getting ready to try and pounce on the Haas, who has got a time penalty as well, I just noticed. 3 seconds next to his name. See there with the position changes as well. The man who has made the most places is Jedley in P10, the reserve driver. He's made up 6 places after starting from 16th. Not a bad effort at all from Jedley. They come around the final turn. Begin lap 6. Oh,
and now Grim Reaper has lost DRS as well.
Into the pits goes average only. Interesting. What are you pitting for? Mediums. Front wing change? No? Just 2 stop?
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Right. So will he be trying to do a soft medium medium or soft medium soft?
Well, I guess he can extend the stint on the mediums and go for softs.
Alright.
I think, yeah, as I said, like for 2 stop you can go on lap 6 and then put on softs on lap 21, 20, stuff like this.
Okay.
Well, it depends. Maybe there will be a safety car. We never know what's going to happen.
As Crichton and Ford are battling for the lead, Ford goes into the lead. Meanwhile, there's a lot of moving going on the back straightaway. As they head into turn 12, the battle for P6 is definitely on. So we got 2 focus points in terms of the action. We got the battle for P1, got the battle for P6 as well. Okay, this is good. And we got a bit of a battle for P4 as well. Let's not ignore that. Swaggy and Spilly, they're battling-ish. Oh, as Crichton gets back by. Did 40 make a mistake? Had to have. Unless that was tactical. Let him back by so you get DRS again. I don't know. I reckon he made a mistake. And here comes 40 with all this DRS. Will he go for it? No, is the answer. Bit of a lock up there from Crichton. They get through turn 1. Swaggy and Spilly get through turn 1 and the battle for P6 here. Not much is happening at this point, but we'll keep an eye on that, on those intervals, because I reckon it'll be pretty interesting with that lot. Around turn 8 and around turn 9. Top 3 is separated by less than a second. Pretty sure I got that right in terms of the gap. Between first and third. Around turn 11. Leo is close, but considering that Ford has DRS as well, I don't think he'd be able to do much, although, proving me wrong, it's closing in, but just not by enough. Meanwhile, Spilly has overtaken Swaggy. There goes Ford around the outside at 12. Can't get that done. Crichton covers well. Racing up, getting by Grim Reaper around the outside, but in a similar fashion, Grim Reaper tries to cover, but to less of an effect because Racing Up to gets through on the inside at turn 13. Come around the hairpin of turn 15 now. Can't do much through the rest of this racetrack. You just have to wait until the main straightaway to try and get back past. Now, will 40 get by? Don't think so. Will Leo get by? No, I don't think so either. 40's closing in. Doesn't go for any sort of move. Spilly's up to 4th now. Swaggy tagging behind in 5th. Racing up to still in 6th place. Grim Reaper just behind, followed by Bags, Wogboy, Jedley in 10th. Scotty, G-Force Zach, Roscoe and Fiery Hour. They're all in that train. Big, long train of cars here, making their way through the opening sector. Look at them all. And, oh dear. Another 3-second time penalty for Racing Up though, increasing his tally to 6 seconds. Go back to this briefly. Crichton, he's 4.5 tenths in front. Can he stay in front into turn 12? Leo is very close. He gets an excellent run out of turn 11. This can't really do anything here in 12 as 40's looking down the inside. Crichton leaves the door open. They're side by side heading towards turn 12. Leo looking to the inside here following Crichton. Tries to draw alongside 40. Meanwhile, Grim Reaper has overtaken Racing Up to go into turn 15. Leo tries to get the over-under done. Oh, he almost undone himself at the exit of 15. Almost lost control, but managed to keep the car straight as these two are still battling as Bags Liddell takes 7th place away from Grim Reaper. Exiting the triple right-hander now. There's Upter, Liddell, Reaper as Ford and Leo, or rather, Crichton and Ford. They're into the pits. To get off the soft tyre, a bit of a touch there between Upter and Bags. Oh, he's lost control, but he saves it. Amazingly, he saves it. He could have collected 2-3 cars with that mistake, but they all get around and Bags is still in the race. 3 wide into turn 1 as Scotty tries to nab 2 positions for himself. He's up into P7 now, out of nowhere. Bags can't quite fight back as Leo has crashed. He has crashed in the opening sector. Leo is a weirdo, is out of the race. There he is there, deep into the outfield at turn, I reckon that's turn 5? Yeah, it would be turn 5, because turn 6 would be the right-hander. So he's out of the race. He's our first retirement. And we don't have a safety car either, as Wogboy's trying to look around the outside here of Bags. Now, those soft tyres won't be feeling great compared to Wogboy's mediums. They'd have switched on it by this point. Here he comes. He's got DRS, not bothering to use any battery. Will he go for it down the inside? He's going to try, and he gets it done. Meanwhile, Racing Up there and Grim Reaper are still battling one another. They're going around turn 13 now, towards turn 14 and 15. Well, no shenanigans here at the hairpin. No one going for any desperate dive bombs, as Bags has dropped down the order again. Back down to 10th. He might have made another mistake between 14 and 15, I reckon. As Spilly and probably the rest of the field are going to come in to get off the soft tyre. No, some of them staying out. Into the pits goes Roscoe Arm off the soft tyre. Reaper stays out. Same with Racing Upter and Jedley. They're still on the soft tyre.
Oh, Grim Reaper.
Oh, hello. Oh, tight as... Has he crashed that pit lane? Oh, no, he's undone himself at the final corner. Right.
Yep.
He's lost control. He's put it into the wall. Oh, there's a severe collision penalty between Racing Upter and Jedley. Jedley's missing a front wing on his Alpha Tauri. Did Upter get a penalty for that too? No, he did not. Okay. Well, what a shocking day then for Alpine. Both of them out. No points for the French outfit.
Yeah, and no points for Red Bull as well, because no one was racing, so basically Red Bull was on strike today. Let's see. Like, that mixes things up big time. Because now Ford and Crichton, I don't know if they will come out in front anyway.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll pit again for fresh tyres. They've already got fresh tyres, so it won't hurt them directly. But they won't have the big advantage by pitting earlier now. And all the work they did in like the first 8-9 laps. All that work is now undone.
What I want to see is actually what are the medium runners going to do.
I think you just got to take advantage of this, surely. You have to.
Yeah,
and pit onto the hard tyre.
For hards or for double soft?
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad shout, actually. Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
We'll see.
Scotty's out. Scotty stays out.
Oh.
Scotty stays out.
Okay. Alright, Reaper, you're pitting for mediums, I think? Or are they soft?
Softs,
Medium
see,
tyre.
oh, double step for Walkboy. Walkboy is going for the hards.
Medium tyres for Racing Up to Swaggy and the other drivers who pitted earlier. Don't pit again, obviously. Roscoe Armour drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. Oh, dear. Wait, drive-through for speeding? He was in the pit lane, wasn't he?
Yeah.
How do you get a penalty in the pit lane? Like, he was just in the pit lane, right?
Yeah, he was in the pit lane. But that was weird.
Hang on, I'll just check Race Director, seeing as I have the time to do so. Okay, he's got to drive through this lap. And he did pit this lap. Didn't he? No, he pitted on the previous lap. Right. So he was out trying to catch the field. And he wasn't paying attention to his delta, it seems. Either that or it dipped on him, which is something that the delta does do. Where it dips on you by about half a second. And you have to stomp on the brakes to try and get time back. So he's got a drive through now. Yikes. Well, he has to pray for another safety car to come out. Essentially. Just has to sit and pray. As I say, Plevs as well, from what happened earlier, he was a long, long way behind. He can now try and salvage something from this race. As to go along with that, we now have 15 cars left, so everyone who finishes will score points. So there is an incentive, a slight incentive, but an incentive nonetheless to try and get to the end. And now we got a fair old mix-up in terms of strategies. As somebody's coming in. Chief or Zach and Hillers, they're both coming in. So they've done one lap on the soft tyre. They're going to hop back onto the mediums, I would guess. Mediums at the ready for Zach. What about for Hillers? Yeah, medium tyres as well. That's smart. Get your one lap out of the way and then hop back onto the medium tyre. I'm guessing they did start on the mediums. Yeah, both of them started on the mediums. No, that's a good tactical play. Might lose a bit of track position, but you're now set to go to the end from here. There's no complications from here on out. Also, with this time, I might as well say hello to the chat as well, everyone who is watching. Oh, it's for some reason disconnected from the stream. Get this back. There's Pacific Tier 1. Hello ACW. Hello Blacks. Oh, it's Starlato, righto. King Dew, good to see you. How would Leo crash there? Oh, how would have Leo crashed in that S section, do you think? Just lost it on the curbs? Would that be...
Well, maybe, yeah. Sometimes in that corner you just go like too fast on entry and then you lose the rear. I think Leo is on pad, so usually like, yeah, anything can happen on the pad in every moment. As you lose like your grip on the stick, it can be really messy indeed. Maybe there was contact, I don't know, I didn't see it to be honest, and for now we are restarting, and let's see how much time it will take Ford and Crichton to overtake Scotty, because that will be key. It will be really, really important.
Because he could be quite the roadblock for the leaders, for the likes of Ford and Crichton. We'll see how Scotty fares though, getting ready for this restart. We go down towards the final corner. He's still waiting. The field is stacking up a little bit. They head around the final corner. We'll get back under green flag racing here in Austin, Texas. Flat 13 of 28. Oh, a big weaving going on, trying to get temperature into their tyres. Into turn 1 they go. Scotty has to be a bit mindful. Going that slowly on the restart as 40 loses the back end at turn 1. Les has overtaken Jedley as well for P12. Through the S section they go.
Also side by side. Stunning.
Through turn 7 towards turns 8 and 9. Scotty's holding his own at the moment. Roscoe's got a 3-second time penalty. Just to add a bit of salt into the wound. Down towards the hairpin of turn 11. Gap is 2.5 tenths. We go for a move. Surely he will. As you said, Marco, he needs to get by as soon as possible, and that's exactly what he's doing. What about Crichton? He's using up a whole heap of batteries. Closed in. He's going to try and look down the inside. Scotty keeps his car in front of the Mercedes. Around turn 13 we go now. Zach has overtaken Jedley as well for P13.
Zach's going to dive right now, and he does. Yeah.
Oh, they're side by side on the exit, but Crichton gets in front. So Scotty down to P3. Swaggy, meanwhile, he's going to have to try and get by the Haas coming through the penultimate corner, down towards the final corner. Oh, I reckon he thought about going for a move there. He made that subtle twitch in the braking zone. I thought he might go for it as Roscoe goes into the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. Here comes Swaggy, up towards turn 1. Down the inside he goes into the left-hander, and he goes into P3. Spilly rather. Follows through into P4. Scotty fights back though, but can't do anything. He slots into P5. Through the S section, they go around turn 6 towards turn 7. Now, 40 and Crichton there, probably going to resume battle in a few moments' time, I'm guessing. But they'll have a few extra guests with Swaggy and Spilly not too far behind. Scotty's losing quite a bit of time compared to the leaders on those older tyres. Grim Reaper would like to get by now. He's using a fair bit of battery and this long straightaway. Down towards turn 12. Will he go to the inside? He will. To overtake Scotty to take P5 away from the Haas. But Scotty, I thought he was going to try and fight back down the inside of 13. But at the end of the day, he just gave in. Let Grim Reaper have the position. Racing up to, now has to get by his teammate. Fiery Hour right behind. Racing up to, lost a fair bit of time through the hairpin. Got awfully close to the Haas as Wogboy gets by Fiery Hour into P8. And the penultimate corner they go. Well, the Mercedes running wide. Around the final corner they go. DRS is now enabled. And down the main straightaway, down towards turn 1. Don't see too much action just yet between this lot. We'll have to wait for the race to evolve a little bit more to see some more racing. Scotty's starting to lose time. He's outside of that 1 second range to Grim Reaper. Needs to get back within that 1 second range if he can. Fiery Hour gets a 3 second time penalty, multiple warnings. Coming around turn 8 now, up the hill towards turn 9. The gap is increased to 1.4 seconds as he runs wide at the exit of turn 9, losing a few more tenths. Coming around the hairpin of turn 11. Oh, look how close Wogboy was to hitting the back of the Haas at turn 11. That was awfully close. Opens DRS, pulls out of the slipstream and gets by. Crichton, meanwhile, goes for the lead down the inside at turn 12. Can Ford get the switch back? Yes, he can. They're side by side, heading around turn 13. Wogboy and Racing After are battling for position while this is going on. Towards turn 15, Crichton has the inside line. Can he park the car on the apex? Not quite. 40 will try and get the over-under done, but Crichton has the inside line for the triple right-hander.
Scotty and Plebs, they crushed and Hillis.
Oh dear.
Plebs couldn't do anything. It was sandwiched between Scotty and Fiery Hour.
So drama going on here in the midfield. No obvious signs of damage just yet. No one's going into the pit, so everyone seems to be in one piece. Meanwhile, Crichton, 40, Swaggy. Plebs has overtaken Hilles for P9. Scotty and Bags are side by side as well, according to the leaderboard, and Bags gets by Scotty. I wonder if he's kicking himself with that decision to stay out. It hasn't worked at all for Scotty. He needed to come in and get off those tyres. Try and do something. Staying out just, it wasn't the best option. And it shows. Around the around turn 11. Onto the back straightaway. The gap is under 2 tenths now. 40 closing in, and Crichton can do nothing to try and keep the lead. Into turn 12 we go. So G-Force 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Look pretty good for the G-Force boys. Nice aerial shot here. Looking over the third sector. Towards turn 15, Crichton takes a slightly narrow line. Perhaps trying to go down the inside of 40. Perhaps trying to defend from Swaggy. Or even perhaps he's trying to do both at the same time. Exiting turn 18 towards turn 19. I reckon Crichton might have a go at turn 1. Oh, he's lost a little bit of time. Yellow flags are out. It's Fiery Hour. He's had a moment at 18. Gets going again, but he's now down in 13th place. Crichton, the big send here at turn 1. Draws alongside his G-Force compatriot, but 40 has the inside line for turn 2. So he keeps the lead as they head into the S section through 3, 4, turn 5, into turn 6 now. As Racing Up there is out of the race. He has crashed out in the S section, and we have a virtual safety car. Oh, as Jedley almost goes up the back of Scotty. That evolves into a safety car. A proper safety car. Oh, that's really unfortunate for Racing Up there. I've done that myself, actually, losing it at turn 2. He might have been helped as well, I'm not too sure, but I've crashed there by myself, just losing the back end.
Well, now let's see what the drivers will do, because going for the softs could be really, really helpful for some of the drivers. Even for the top runners, to be fair, because we're gonna restart on lap 11, I think. So it will be 10 laps on the softs, which is feasible. Well, I'm really curious about what the drivers will do. I think Wogboy is gonna go for the softs, for example.
Well, yeah, he's on the hard tyre, so might as well. But it's what the driver's mindset is right now. Do they want track position? They want the better tyre. What do they want? Let's find out. 40? 40
Everyone
is staying out. Oh, a lot of them are staying out.
Yep.
Wogboy's in, as you predicted. Plev stays out. Hillez stays out. So a lot of them rather have track position rather than the soft tyre.
Is Wogboy going for mediums? No, for the softs.
Soft tyre, yeah.
Cody will go for the softs as well.
Oh, it's Fiery Hour takes out that pit lane board at the entry of the pit lane. Yeah. Well, these drivers towards the back of the field, this makes perfect sense to go onto the soft tyre because you have nothing to lose in this sort of position. So might as well try something. And this has given Zach the opportunity to catch up. Same with Roscoe after that drive-through. So they have the opportunity to try and salvage something.
I think Zach is desyncing again. By the way. I don't know, I'm watching his onboard, like it looks like the AI is driving. I don't know.
One easy way to tell is to turn on telemetry. Because if it's
not pushing. It's not pushing to get the group, you know, get back into the pack.
It's a very irritating onboard noise as well, that engine. But with the AI, they tend to flick the accelerator and the brake on and off like a switch. It's not a very natural braking movement. Like with those braking and accelerating inputs, they look fairly natural, so I think he might be driving.
Using battery as well.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see towards the end of this safety car period. See if he's actually in the session or not. And I think if he was an AI, his car would be ghosted as well. So.
True, but sometimes when you desync, you don't get ghosting. That's true. What I mean.
That is true.
Let's see.
Actually, see here, positions made. Hillez has made the most. Not quite. Jedley still has the most of 7 places made. Hillez with 6. Fiery Hour with 5. A few drivers up 2. A few drivers up 1. Alright, that's good to know. So the top 9, they're all on mediums. The rest of the field, they're on soft tyres. That'll be pretty easy to remember too. Rightio. So we could be set for a fairly interesting finish if it goes from green flag to the checkered flag for the rest of the race and we don't have another safety car period. Be very interesting to see who's made the right call. Because there's a fairly even split when it comes to the tyre. Not incredibly even, but it's a fairly even split. Now, I reckon the safety car will be going in this lap. Yeah, apparently Zach's in the session, so...
Yeah. He's trying. Warming up his tires right now. Not too aggressively. That's his choice. Well, we start once again.
Yep, so 40 controls the field this time around. And make sure you keep temperature into your tyres as well.
I'm gonna tell you that the soft runners will be at least 1.8, 1.9 seconds faster at the restart compared to use mediums. So I think we'll see a lot of action.
Alright, I'll hold your projection up to the test. We'll see if that happens. Because I think you're right, those drivers on the soft tyre, they can't just wait for the right moment. They need to go now. Speaking of going now, 40's taken off and we're back on the green flag racing here in Austin, Texas. And Jedley is in the pits. AlphaTauri in the pit lane. What is he pitting onto? Curiosity. I'll keep my eye on the leaders. But he's in. For some reason. Fiery Hour has overtaken Scotty as well. Scotty fights back to take P10 back, but Fiery Hour gets the position. Coming through turns 7, 8 and 9 now. 40's had a half decent restart. He's pulled away a little bit. Crichton's still within that critical 1 second range. Around turn 11. Still within 8/10 of the race leader. Then it's Swaggy. Fiery Hour's now up to 9th place.
Oh boy.
And he's overtaking Hillers. That's for P7. So Ferrari's making his charge up towards the front. Hillers can't fight back either into turn 12. Bags and Scotty, they're still battling it out. As Scotty seems to have secured P10. Bags, he's a bit vulnerable to those around him. He's on medium tyres compared to everyone else on the soft tyre. He can't do much. Oh boy, he is right behind the McLaren of Plevs. He's got a hell of a run.
Speed,
Just, as Plebs runs wide. Around the final corner.
Look at the traction he's got.
Yep, and look at that. Cutting his way through traffic, he still sets fastest lap.
Yeah.
Round the outside, can he get it done? Tries to get the over-under. Oh, look at that. Look, Plebs tries to fight down the inside of 2. But can't keep the car alongside into the S section. Oh, that's tight. That's very tight. And while Scotty has moved himself into 8th place, Hillers down to 9th. Fiery Hour will be looking to try and get by as well. Oh, they're almost side by side here. Exiting turn 9 now, over the crest, through turn 10, down towards turn 11. Fiery Hour go for it. He looks to the inside at turn 11, and he's through into 9th place. Oh, as Hillers. Looks like he had... Now, were you looking at that out of curiosity, Marco? As Wogboy gets through?
Yeah, exactly. I'm watching Wogboy and seeing if the Ferrari drivers are working together.
I'm not sure if Fiery Hour pushed Hillers there or not. I was very curious with that. Oh, as down the inside goes Roscoe on Hillers. They're side by side. Oh, a touch between the two Alfa Romeos into 15 as Plevs gets demoted down to P8. Plevs fights back. Oh, it's tight at the triple right-hander. Plevs gets back out in front. Around the penultimate corner towards the final corner. Will Scotty send it? No, he won't. Stay behind as DRS is now enabled. As Wogboy sets another fastest lap. He is flying on that soft tyre. His next target is Billy. Zach is overtaking his teammate as well. So, hang on. Scotty's overtaking Plevs, or is trying to overtake Plevs. Plevs has the inside line for turn 2, so he hangs on to P7. Through turn 9, through turn 3, then 4, then 5. Then through turn 6. And into 7, 8, and then 9. Fiery Hour, he's got a run, he's trying to draw alongside. Down into the hairpin of turn 11. Oh, he gets it done as well. It's forced Scotty a little bit wide. Fiery Hour into 8th place. Scotty unable to fight back as Crichton goes for the lead.
It's a lock
40 gets it back. Crichton has the inside line though for 13. Ford gives him room. Into the hairpin of turn 15.
If they fight, they lose to Wogboy.
Oh, Crichton gets the drive and the inside line for 16. So he keeps the lead. And you're right, there's Wogboy. He is right on the back of this train now. It's a 5-car battle at the front. And the guy at the end of the train is on fresh, soft compound tyres. Here we go. Lap 23 of 28. 40's got DRS. Wogboy gets through into 4th place. 40 looking left and right. Can he get by Crichton? He's looking on the outside. Can't get it done. Swaggy tries to draw alongside. Around turn 2 they go. Swaggy on that outside. He can't hang on to this battle. He has to slot behind G-Force Ford. Around turn 4. And then turn 6. Into turn 7. Then 8. Oh boy, is right there. Can he do anything though? Because those soft tyres, the edge wears off of them fairly quickly. But can he get by Swaggy? Deep on the brakes, but he can't find a way by. Pretty decent drive at the exit of the hairpin. Using up a fair bit of battery. Heading down towards turn 12. 40's closing in. Will he go for a dive bomb? The answer is no, not quite close enough. Meanwhile, Grim Reaper and Plebs are side by side through turn 12. They're side by side heading through turn 13 as well. Plebs with the inside line. Can he hang on to P6? Fiery Hour is going to try and get involved as well. He's on the outside. They're touching through turn 15, but they both get through. Fiery Hour's got nowhere to go. He's still in P8 as Scotty gets by Zach for P10. While this is going on. Through turn 19 they go. Oh my goodness me. It's a train of how many cars? 11 cars? In this lead train with 5 laps to go. Incredible scenes here in Austin, Texas. As Fiery Hour gets by Grim Reaper. Around the outside at 1. Reaper tries to fight down the inside at 1, but he can't hang on. He has to slot into 8th place. Meanwhile, Wogboy, he's still in 4th place. Oh, Swaggy runs wide! And he gets through!
Uh-oh.
A mistake from Swaggy. Opens the door up for Wogboy. He's into 3rd. Through turn 10. Down the hill towards turn 11. Wogboy can get a really big run here if he can get turn 11 right. Can 40 have a go at Crichton? Half a second. Is he close enough? Will he do anything? He's not using any battery. This is just the natural power of DRS. And look at him close in. Oh, and he backs off last second. As Wogboy is awfully close. He touches Ford just a little bit. There's a small kiss from the Ferrari as they head around turn 13. Into turn 14 now. Towards the hairpin of 15. 40 not doing anything. Neither is Wogboy. Oh, Wogboy gets really nice traction out of the hairpin of turn 15, but he's got nowhere to go. He's right on the back of 40 though. Exiting turn 18 through 19. The gap is 0.2 of a second. 40's under a whole heap of pressure. He needs to remain calm as Swaggy gets a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, Crichton's pulling away. He's got a 9/10 margin. If Crichton's got any battery left, he probably want to try and use it, try and build a 1-second gap between himself and Ford. As Fiery Hour gets by Plebs, as Wogboy's trying to get by Ford, he can't get it done. He's looking left, he's looking right, but he's got nowhere to go. Around turn 6 now. Wogboy lost a little bit of time, I think, there through turn 6. I saw that gap increase to about half a second. He's closed back in, though, on Ford. Around turn 10, down towards the hairpin of 11. I don't think he'd be close enough to do anything here. Spilly is close, but he's not able to do anything in 5th just yet. Fiery Hour in P6 on the soft tyre as well. He'll be nice and racy to try and get by some drivers. Here comes Spilly. Look at all the momentum he's got. And 40's gotten by Crichton into the lead. A whole heap of action going on. My goodness me. As Crichton's trying to send it up the inside of Ford at turn 13. They're side by side around 40. Can Wogboy take advantage of this? I don't think he can. Takes an awfully wide line. Tries to get the over-under. Oh, it's tight at the entry to 16, but Crichton hangs on. Around 17, around 18, towards the penultimate corner of 19. Wogboy is very close to Crichton as they head towards the final turn. 0.2 is the gap. Can he get the traction? I think he has got the traction. Can he? Oh, he's not dumping any of his battery though. He's not using any of it just yet. Crichton closing in on Ford, looking to the inside at turn 1. They're side by side through the hairpin. Crichton doesn't leave Ford much room, but Fordy still has the inside line for turn 2. Crichton now takes the lead through turn 3, into 4, 5, into turn 6. You see that flashing red light. He's low on battery. So he doesn't have a lot in terms of resources. Fordy has just under half. And I think Wogboy has about 20-odd%, maybe 25%. Spilly's close too. Fariao trying to look down the inside of Swaggy. They're very close, and I think Swaggy maintains 5th place. Opens DRS now. Wogboy starting to use some battery. He's closing in on Ford, who is closing in on Crichton. It might be 3 wide heading into turn 12. 40 with the inside line. Wogboy on the outside. Crichton in the middle. Who comes out on top? Wogboy gets a penalty. A 3-second time penalty for running wide at turn 12. 40 and Crichton side by side. Around turn 15. Sector 2 yellow flags. That's Bags Liddell in 13th place. Around turn 16. Around turn 70. 40's wide. Wogboy's got an opening. He's alongside Ford as they head into the penultimate turn. 40 though has that inside line for the left-hander and hangs on to P2. And there's Spilly alongside the Ferrari. He's into P3 out of nowhere. And Swaggy, he gets by into P4 as well. A shocking lap for Wogboy. It's now 2 to go. Fariao wants to get involved as well as they go through turn 1, down the hill towards turn 2. Crichton and Ford are very, very close as Wogboy gets by Swaggy for 4th place. Through the S section once again, around turn 6. The gap is 1/10 of a second as they head through turn 7 into turn 8. Spilly's got a whole heap of pace underneath him, it seems, at the moment. He looks very quick in the Aston Martin, and look at the drive he gets out of turn 9, around the hairpin of turn 10 now. Spilly's on the outside. Can he get the over-under done on the Williams? The answer is no, but he's got an awful lot of straight line speed in this Aston Martin, and he's got a lot of battery to boot. Heading down the long straightaway towards turn 12. Crichton's a sitting duck. In towards the hairpin we go. Well, the hairpin, quote unquote. 40 takes the lead. Crichton and Spilly side by side. Crichton still hangs on. Somehow, some way he hangs on. Around the outside of 13. Around the outside of 14. He has the inside line for 15. Can 40 get the switchback? No, because there's an Aston Martin in the way. Spilly tries to draw alongside the Williams, but he can't get it done. Around turn 16, 17 and 18 for the second last time. The gap is 2/10 between the top two. Around turn 19, towards the final corner of turn 20. It is 1 lap left. Lap 28 of 28 has finally begun. The final 5.5 kilometres of this race. Who is going to win here in Austin? 40's got to run. Oh, he almost hits him. He does hit Crichton, and he half spins the car. And now, well, Spilly has lost a whole heap of positions. Oh, well, he was about to lose a whole heap of positions. Now Swaggy tries to draw alongside. It's tight there at turn 3, and Swaggy has to cut the track. He cuts the track. He maintains his 3rd place, though. But Crichton has pulled away. The gap is now 7/10 of a second between the top two. Make that 8/10. Can 40 find anything to try and catch up to Crichton? Swaggy just behind now in 3rd. Spilly in 4th. Wogboy in 5th. Those soft tyres won't feel particularly great at the moment. G4 Sack is in P6. Where did you come from? Absolutely out of nowhere. We've been too focused on the leaders. G4 Sack is in 6th place. Down the long straightaway for the final time. Down towards turn 12. 40's got the outside line. Crichton's going to go deep. They make contact at the apex of 12. Crichton's got the nose in front. Around turn 13 for the final time now. Bit of a lock up there from Ford. Swaggy's biffing and barging. More contact going on as they go around turn 15. Swaggy's got the inside. They almost touch. Ford and Swaggy. Has 40 got anything left in the tank? As Spilly gets through into 3rd place once again. 2/10, 2 corners to go. Who wins here in Austin? Has 40 got anything at the final turn? The answer is no. G-Force Crichton wins a spectacular race here in Texas by half a second.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I've been talking non-stop for 15 minutes. I've got a sore back from that. Oh my goodness. Oh, Oh my giddy aunt. What an unbelievable finish to a race. Non-stop action all the way through. And G-Force Zach, the driver who I mentioned on the last lap, gets driver of the day. The podium celebrations, and it's Crichton who hangs on. Oh my goodness, a defensive masterclass from the championship leader. I don't know how he hung on for that long. And he was low on battery for the whole time, red light flashing and everything. And he hung on. 40 takes second and Spilly takes third. Holy moly. Hi. What a race. Crichton with the victory, 40 in second, Spilly in third, Plebs in fourth place. What a recovery for Plebs after what happened at the beginning. What could have been for Wogboy, those soft tyres fell off. He finishes 5th. Swaggy in P6, followed by G4 Sack after starting from 15th. Made up 8 places with fastest lap as well to finish 7th. Grim Reaper in 8th, Scotty in 9th, Roscoe Arm rounds out the 10th, Fiery Hour in 11th, Hillers 12th, Bags in 13th, Jedley in 14th, and now Retirement's racing up to average only. And Leo is a weirdo. Oh, goodness, I haven't had a race like that in a while.
Oh, well.
Oh. You know a race was exciting when you get a sore back out of it. Oh. Oh. Or rather a sore diaphragm to be more accurate. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need a drink of water after that one.
Oh my goodness me. It will be a fully deserved glass of water.
Oh, perhaps. I did make a few mistakes during commentary tonight. I wish I was a bit tidier, but that was a very exciting race, my goodness. We'll invite the top 3 in. We'll have a chat about what happened tonight. We'll be back in just a few moments.
No interview, sadly.
Huh?
Billy says no interview.
Oh, okay. Oh, poor fella. I'm sure he... no, I like to keep it strictly podiums, places. It's just something I do. Oh. There's Crichton. There we are. Holy cow. It was epic.
Nice.
Your formula room is now working, is it?
Yeah, top ships again.
Okay, so it just had a glitch with it, I guess.
Let's see. We need to check if it gets lazy sometimes.
Hello, Crichton.
Hey boys, how are we?
Oh,
Exhausted.
Same here.
My goodness me, that was sick. That was sick.
Hurry up, man. Oh.
Yeah, you enjoy that one?
I don't think we can do
That
much
was
more for you.
sick.
Yeah.
That's not the best race you've ever seen. I don't know what we'll be. Like, honestly.
It's up there, yeah.
Mate, there was 20 plus live viewers on the stream, that's sick.
Yeah, well, the chat was very chatty tonight. That was good to see.
Oh well, of course. This is gonna be a Pacific Tier 1 Classic.
It's up there with one of the best Tier 1 races I've commentated.
It's probably a top 10 race, isn't it? That one.
I go as high as top 5. So.
100%.
99th race of Pacific Series as well. Next race 100.
Oh, righto. Okay. Well, that's a neat little statistic I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, that'll be up there. Formula 100, like Crofty did in China, like Formula 1000.
Formula 1000, yeah. When it all began, when I wasn't there, back in season 1, and I joined halfway through season 2. For T2, I commentated T2 for a bit. That was fun. Yeah, that's definitely up there as one of the best. Probably up there with Silverstone Season 2 in terms of memorable races.
Yeah, I remember that.
That three-way finish at the light, my goodness. Right out, we got you two in here, and I learned that Spilly has a broken headset, so he can't do interviews, which is disappointing because he drove quite well towards the end. He was quick. He was very quick towards the end. But we'll start from P2. We'll make our way up. 40. That was a hell of an effort from you over the course of that race. To put it lightly, in all honesty. You and Zach had a titanic battle pretty much all the way through that race. And it sort of started from qualifying. You two were only I falsely said you two were separated by 9 thousandths of a second. I was wrong. You were separated by just over a tenth. But that was still insanely close. So how was qualifying from your end?
Look, the first stuff I did, I think, was a 31.6, which is probably what I've been realistically setting on the first run most of the time. But I was running quite low tyre pressures, so I guess for my second run, I bumped them up a lot more, making you quicker in a straight line and things like that. So yeah, I gave that a try on my second run. I went about 5.5 tenths quicker, so obviously that was probably the right thing to do. And then on my final run, I pretty much messed up turn 1 a little bit. I was probably a tenth and a half lower out of it, and then I finished the lap, I think, dead even my time pretty much. So it would have been nice to see what I could have done if that turn 1 was, what a normal one would have been. I think it would have been close, but I think realistically Zach probably had the upper hand of me in 1 lap pace. So I think the grid showed a realistic aspect of it.
Sorry, I'm still gathering myself up. But no, that qualifying effort was fantastic. To see how close everybody was as well was really great to see. And then came the race. Just that whole battle between you two was great. It honestly was. Was it great from your point of view?
Yeah, no, it was. I think like a lot of the races, you get that tactical aspect where you try to break DRS and stuff. But once DRS is in play on this track, you just can't break it. So it kind of enticed us to battle a little bit more because we didn't have to worry about like managing to gap behind because everyone was already in it. Yeah. So yeah, I think we had a little incident turn on lap 3 where I sent it a little too hard up the sharp left corner, and I tried to let Zach get back through, and then that concertina affected, and I think Plebs got damaged at the end of that, which was unfortunate.
I see. Right.
Yeah, so basically I was just trying to let Zach back through because I felt my move was probably a little bit unfair. I left him no space on the outside, which, you like having good racing, but when it's not really that fair, you kind of got to make up for it. But yeah, I guess just throughout the race, the safety cars threw strategy in there with Wogboy coming up on the softs. He was probably about a second lap quicker than us, so we had to make a great wall of cars to try and stop him. But yeah, like
you almost got all the way through.
I'm almost pretty much as speechless as you are. It was battling non-stop, so it's probably one of the most tiring races I've ever had to do. I think, even though there were 2 safety cars, but just that DRS straight, there was always something new at it at the end of it each lap, which was awesome.
Unfortunately for me, you're absolutely right, because I was talking non-stop for 15 minutes. Like throughout that entire last bit, it was non-stop. But that final lap, there was a moment at turn 1, and unfortunately the outboard camera didn't really show a really good view of it. So could you take us through what happened there?
I think Swaggy... Oh, yeah, no, sorry, that's right. Spilly was right up my gearbox, and I got scared he might have sensed it up the inside, so I...
Broke low.
Probably braked a little bit later than what I should have, especially with Zach being in front of me, and so I've just nipped the back of him, where you can, I guess, see the smoke pop out, and I think both Zach and myself went sideways after that.
You did.
Yep.
Thankfully, nothing bad came out of that, because it would have been a really bad way to end the race after everything that happened. So, I'm glad we were able to hold it. And then I thought I might have lost DRS coming onto the next straight. I think it gave Zach like a 9/10 lead. But I was running 10-11 wins throughout the race. I think Zach would have been running 11/11, so it gave me a little bit more of a straight line speed, which I think probably helped me in that race without a doubt. So. Yeah, it was I didn't know whether to go inside or outside on that final DRS straight. Zach kind of put his car in the middle and made me make the decision, and yeah, outside must have been the wrong move, I guess.
Well, I think with Zach, you'll probably make it work either way you go.
Exactly right. We both have the respect there for each other, which is good. And yeah, I think that was shown straight away. Lap 1, turn 1. I went up the inside of him, and truly the space he would have left me was all like the perfect amount. So when you're racing someone who knows the width of their car and stuff like that, and you know the width of your car, it just makes it for a really good battle.
Yeah, it was certainly one to watch from our point of view, that's for sure. Marco, have you got anything to ask 40?
Yeah, I've got a question. Looking at what Walkboy was doing, like on new softs, have you thought even for a single second, like on the second safety guard, to bid and put new softs on lap 11?
100%. Oh, lap 11, not on lap 11.
Lap 19, sorry.
Yeah. No, there were definitely talks of it, and I guess season 2 around here was the same idea. There was a safety car in the final couple of laps, and like it was so late that you didn't even get DRS for them the race. So I think it must have gone in lap 25. And a couple of guys chucked on the soft tyres, and they just ripped through the field in 2 laps, and I think Schmidt won from last with 2 laps to go.
Oh goodness, that's something I haven't heard in a while.
I guess it probably did cross our minds for sure, but I guess there was that mutual agreement all to stay out, and but probably the wrong mutual agreement to have, because it put us under more pressure than what we already had. But yeah, it was seeing Logboy come through was really good, and it just added another aspect to the race.
Fair enough. But,
because at that time I think the softs would have been like 2 seconds quicker or something. Looking at the delta between normal delta between mediums and.
Well, we noticed
bus laps and overtaking us.
Yeah, the lap of the restart, he was overtaking people and he set fastest lap.
Yeah, by over a second I think it was as well. The quickest I could do with pushing after that safety car restart was a 35.8, and I think he did a 34.7 on that restart lap whilst overtaking people. So the grip was insane.
But no. Well, you managed to hang on. I suppose that's the main thing.
Yeah, mate, I got to talk to you boys, so I'm happy.
But final question. Next week we're heading over to Bahrain, at Bahrain International Circuit. How do you feel going into next week?
Bahrain. Yeah, it's a bit of I think I've been slow there previous seasons, but my pace has slowly started to get back up there. So I think it's a really good track for racing, much like America is. So yeah, hopefully we can put in another battle there for you. Get those 2 DRS zones obviously at the start, which make it really good. So I think it's also got a good quali. Maybe we could be in for something like we just had tonight again.
I agree. I think that's something that people don't talk about, is that qualifying tends to be pretty close at Bahrain. So I reckon we're in for a pretty decent show next week. Well, for now, 40, congratulations on the mega performance tonight, and congrats on your 2nd place.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Alex.
But we'll move on to our race winner once again, Mr. Crichton. You've won another race, but it was not under easy circumstances, now was it?
Certainly was not, Smeg. Certainly was not.
But first off, qualifying, 30.999.
Yep.
You were just that far off from just the cleanest looking lap we could have. But that was a mega lap from you.
Yeah, no, that lap wasn't too bad. I certainly know that the time could have been probably a couple tenths quicker, but the car...
of course it was.
I was losing the rear through the fast right-hander, so third last corner. And, yeah, I don't know, we're just struggling with the rear a little bit in quali tonight, but I was quite happy when I put out a 999. I was like, oh, finally a 30 or whatever it was. So that was nice, but yeah, I was quite happy with the pole.
But you converted well off the line at the start. You were leading the field into turn 1. And then you had that battle pretty much all the way through with 40. Just take us through the race from your point of view.
Well, yeah, first couple of laps, I started dicing, battling myself. It was really clean and stuff, so was loving that. And then I was trying to lead heading into the pit, so I definitely wanted to be leading heading onto lap 8 and stuff for the pit, so managed to get that. Then Yeah, just boxed on lap 8, then led Bailey out. I think it was just him and I, and then Swag and Speed pitted the following lap. So yeah, that went to plan, but I'm pretty sure there was a safety car that lap, so myself and Bailey got quite lucky that it got called just after they boxed. Otherwise we probably would have been down in 3rd or 4th or lower maybe, so we did get quite lucky there. And then just the battle really continued for the rest of the race, and those last 10 laps, oh my god, I was trying to make my car so wide. But somehow I was trying my hardest just to put the car in the best spot, just slow it up on the corner and stuff, like right on the apex. Just try and position the car, just try and pass in certain corners where I knew that I just wanted to lead and so on. So managed to do that, and yeah, it was great.
It was fairly reminiscent to a race that we both know about at Bahrain, between you and X Revolution. That was it's very similar, just positioning the car in the right place.
Exactly. So that's one thing tonight. I was like, it's probably going to be a high wheel-to-wheel comeback race, and I really wanted to try and win this one, and just come out on top in that. So yeah, that was a nice battle there with Bailey for the whole race.
Marco, have you got anything to ask? Yeah, it really was.
It was every lap was getting tired.
Every lap.
Yeah.
Marco, anything to ask?
Well, I think Bailey answered already, but we're thinking about going softs after the second stint.
Softs, well,
because in general, like, my opinion was, like, with the pace that you guys had, I think it could have been quite easy, like, to go through the pack and then maybe create a gap, even like from the others, like not having DRS, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want your opinion about it.
Nah, we probably should have pitted, but I think there was a few of us up the front, and we were like, we'll stay out. But it's funny, Swaggy in the party was kind of joking about it, and
it looked like it from the spectator point of view. He was
if Swaggy boxed, he 100% would have won that race. Just knowing his nature of driving style and his aggression, like, it was great to have him back on the grid tonight. But certainly, if he boxed, he probably would have passed Bailey and I reckon, probably with a few to go. So, no, that was really nice battle there on the last couple of laps. But I'd say one thing, that race actually required a lot of mental strength because the rear was loose. I'm sure Bailey had the same problem. Rear was loose, tyres were quite hot, warnings as well around here, and then just trying to fight as well and keep it clean. So yeah, that was just a great race overall, and quite happy to come out on top for that. Where was
the rear's most notable? Triple right hander?
Triple right, yeah.
Yeah, triple right was very dangerous. I was lifting through there slightly, probably 99% of the time, just trying to save it, because like, no one's really going to pass through there, so I was like, I can probably lose a tenth through this corner just to maintain the rears and not spin out. So that was one thing, but yeah, super stoked to come out on top on this one. It's such a crazy fight. Stoked.
Final question.
In fact, it was like visibly, like, the triple right hander was the corner where Walkboy was visibly faster. I could see from his own board, like, it was the corner when he was gaining the most. Of course, you couldn't overtake over there because you were in front, and overtaking over there, you need to get, like... Yeah,
he almost got me one lap, and I had to position the car really good because he almost had me, and I was like, damn, if he got me there, he was gone. So, yeah, just trying to position the car was the main thing.
It was actually really weird. Being behind Zach, I was able to go flat out in the first stint through there. The moment I got past him, I went flat out, and I swear to God, my car was doing facing the fence for about a second. So yeah, it was like being behind a car, you nearly had more grip than being in front of them. So yeah, that's something I noticed. I think Zach, you might have been the same, but yeah, for me anyway, yeah, I had more grip behind him than in front.
Interesting. That's kind of opposite to how it works.
Yeah, it should be. Yep. Don't ask it.
Don't question the game at this point. It's that busted. We just have to accept it. So, but no, okay, fascinating. That's something new. But final question, Mr. Crichton. Next week we're heading over to Bahrain. How do you feel you're going to go?
Track that I usually don't like, but I have a weird record there. So I think I have a couple wins there, and I generally don't see it as a strong track for me. I'd say it's more, I'd say, a pad track, which Bailey can probably agree. On that one, they're usually quite strong, so you'll probably see the pack will be quite close. Wogboy will probably be very rapid there, same as Spilly and a few others. So will be interesting, but yeah, we'll see what happens since I got a few wins there. Who knows? Maybe we can get one more.
Well, for tonight, congratulations on your victory and for extending your championship lead.
Yeah, finally turning this championship around the way it should be. Had a couple of dodgy races, but it's coming back to me, which is good.
But, well, hopefully, fellas, we'll see you next week over in Bahrain. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, this will wrap everything up. Already people are calling it the race of the season, and it's going to be very tough to top this. This has been a very entertaining race to watch all the way through. Pretty much all 28 laps had something going on about it. But I think with everything said and done, it's time to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week as we still got plenty of racing to come here on Race Spec Esports, but for Pacific Tier 1, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. My co-commentator, as always, is GeForce Pato. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 10 of the championship at Bahrain International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Goodbye.